Okay, the art of letting go. Yeah. There are things in this world that seems like achievable to you because you can see all of those potentials to get that. But at the same time, I mean, this world is limited and the time and also your potential is limited. So things might seem like you can get everything you want. You can get those careers and you can get that any kind of things that you desire. It seems like it is achievable to you, and I think it's a good thing to become that much of confident where you can think like, well, I can get that, I can get this, and I can, you know, just live the life I want. That is a good thing to have hope and dream. But at the same time, we have to keep in mind that this world is not heaven. I mean, we can have a lot of desires, purposes, goals, and sometimes you will face a moment in life where you will just find out that you cannot get that. I mean, the reality is not often on your side, and the more you grow, the more you understand that, and I mean, you can all of a sudden realize that I cannot fulfill all of my desires, or I cannot achieve all of my goals, or as the time is finite in this world for me, I cannot do all of the things that I wanted to do. So that is when we have to master the art of letting go. For example, yeah, let me give you an example from my experience. I was in my uni when I was 18, yeah, almost 18 or 17 to 18, somewhere like that. And I had a lot of plan in my head where I wanted to do a lot of stuff when I was in there. I wanted to, do a lot of things, have a lot of experiences. But all of a sudden, I figured out that almost half of the time that I will be in the uni has passed away. And then I was rushing to do all of the things that I wanted to do. I was really rushing to do that, but suddenly, 6 years passed, and I figured out that, all of those things were not achievable. I had goals, I had dreams and ideas, but these were not achievable. So that is when I realized that I have to let go often, even if it seems like it is possible. It is possible, but I don't. It is not achievable in one single lifetime. So I had to master the art of letting go, otherwise I would suffer a lot. For example, let's say you want to get the thing that you want to get, and you feel like you really need that. When you set a goal, when you set a desire somewhere, and if you don't do that, or if you don't get that, you'll feel like miserable person, because desire builds a case around you, and you just put a barrier around yourself, and you just mentally set up a mindset like, if you don't get that, you're unhappy, and if you don't get that, you are a loser, something like that. That is a problem. That is a real problem many of us have. We set up desires, we set up goals, and we think like, if you don't get that, if I don't become very successful, build $1 million in this year, if I will become a failure or a loser. That is a real danger we are building around ourselves. That is a mental prison, I say. That is what I call a mental prison. Most of us are living in that. Some of us have achieved the realization that those are prisons I need to get out from. I just can't live a free life. That is something we need to master. So how to master the art of letting go? Well, we often think like art of letting go is like sacrifice the things that you don't want to have, or you just let things go when something bad happens to it. For example, let's say you can have a good relationship with someone, and you think like, okay, that person is bad, I need to master the art of letting go, I need to let them go. No, that is not letting go. Letting go is something that when you really understand that those kind of things are not achievable at all, or at least it will cost me more than what I can get from there. That is one thing. Another thing is that you don't want to have everything in this world, because at the very end of the day, what we want and what we need is peace. But most of the things that we are looking for, they don't want, they don't, I mean, they don't bring us peace. They bring us some sort of, I mean, excitement or achievement in this world. And we often misunderstand that with happiness, because you can be happy, or you can convert anything into happiness when you are at peace. So what you need is peace. Then you can have a cup of coffee and you can have enormous amount of happiness drinking that. There are some people in this world, you see that they don't hustle a lot, they don't earn a lot of money, they spend time with their family, friends, and just by reading books and learning new stuff and developing their inner self, and they live a very happy life. That is something. So these guys have mastered the art of letting go. They don't desire anything. I mean, they have desires, they are human beings, but they don't desire like a crazy person who is out there chasing everything. That is a mistake that we often make, and we build that prison around ourselves, and until we get the thing that we want, we feel like, okay, there is no way out, and I am the most miserable person in this world. So once you understand that you don't need everything, once you understand that you can live a life without having all of those things that you desire, and achieving all of those goals and targets, you can literally live your life. So if it's a financial goal, you can try that, but once you hit that rock bottom where you just have to let that goal go away, just live the life that you have right now, that is when you're actually living your moment. That is when you are actually freeing yourself from the prisons that you have built around yourself, and and away from those misery of chasing these worldly things. So when you understand that, okay, I had these things, I desire those things, and I really want to have those, but at the same time, when I feel like that, yeah, I can live without it, I can really live a happy life without it, or I can get a life without it. That is when you just let that thing go, and you just make another goal, or just live with what you have right now. That is the art of letting go, and that is, I mean, it is a wise decision that when you make it, like, let those things which are not necessary, at least, to let go, and and just try to find peace with what you have right now. Imam Shafi once said, this is a very famous quote from Imam Shafi. He said, "My heart is as peace, knowing that what is meant for me will find me, and what is not meant for me will never find me. I mean, I will never get that." So whatever is meant for you, you will have it. But we often make this mistake by setting a lot of goals and desires around us, and putting ourselves in those misery. Yeah, I think this video is getting a bit longer. Alright, thank you for watching. See you in the next one.